This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com, and I have a bunch of wrestling news for you. WWE has released yet another talent, former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, who only had one match for WWE, basically getting squashed by Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. He has been released. They did sign him during a time where AEW and AAA Lucha Libre were also very interested in him, but now AAA isn't even running. AEW probably isn't going to make as much money this year as they had expected without the ability to do live events. So it's doubtful AEW would pick him up anytime soon. I would imagine, despite Cain Velasquez having a lot of injuries and a pretty quick loss in his last fight, he'll probably go back to UFC and probably have at least one more fight, in my opinion. Raw did another record low rating last night for another part of Triple H's big 25th anniversary celebration that got a record low rating for SmackDown last Friday. SmackDown, of course, was a 0.5 rating, which was, I believe, 16% lower than the previous. Oh, it was 10% lower than the previous week's SmackDown. And Raw last night did a 0.51, which was 2 million less viewers than last week's 0.56 rating. So we're seeing the continual decline of wrestling ratings. In other news, Dave Meltzer has said that Shawn Micheals has supposedly been writing the NXT UK TV show. NXT UK only does TV tapings now, and there's rumors going around that they might completely abandon the brand. NXT, for their Wednesday show that has been losing to AEW on a pretty consistent basis, Meltzer pointed out the other day that NXT actually had the advantage in those Wednesday night wars because USA Network is a network that already has WWE programming on it. NXT had been around longer, and WWE has access to more stars than AEW, but NXT has continuously been performing poorly, with, of course, Triple H being the main guy behind NXT. In court dates news, Jeff Hardy's scheduled appearance related to his October drunk driving offense has been pushed back to July the 16th due to the lockdown, and Teddy Hart, aka Edward Annis's court date related to numerous charges has been pushed back from June to July 16th. Thank you, Johnny Boy, who just tipped me $2.99. Appreciate that. Dave McMichael says, Triple H still breaking records after 25 years. Hashtag lowest rating. Triple X gave Raw the thumbs down. Ralph Vaquero says WWE is really hurting. Orlo Myers says Raw was fucking horrible. Ralph Vaquero, how's everyone on a hot Nevada day? Well, enjoy the hot Nevada day. I was supposed to be in Nevada right now for the Cauliflower Alley Club, but it has been delayed until September now. Hopefully it will actually happen in September. Matt R says yo-yo. By the way, I'm going to officially be doing my Mark Marrow shoot interview on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. Any chance of a Brian Lee interview? Jamie Booles says potentially. I don't think anyone knows where Brian Lee is these days. Max Zorin 2099 says, I said in one of my videos that I didn't care for Triple H when I met him. Just because he was arrogant nothing more than that. I didn't really have too many big experiences with him other than meeting him when I was an extra at some WWE events that I was on. And as I already said in a video that you probably didn't see, it was like meeting Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Like, doesn't really look at you in the eye and just gives you, okay, I don't care, I'll shake your hand, but I don't care about you. Now, mind you, my last WWE extra job was in 2006, so we could have changed by then. Could I get Gerald Briscoe for a shoot? Dave McMichael asks. Maybe, now that he's released. He probably has a 3-month clause where he can't do it, but after that, of course I would do it. Am I going to watch the David Schultz episode of Dark Side of the Ring? Miguel Lopez asks. Yes, and I will do a review of it. And I highly suggest everyone to check out my career interview with Dave Schultz that is up here free on the Hannibal TV. Terrence Jefferson, any Brickhouse Brown shoot interview? Unfortunately, Brickhouse Brown is passed away. Riley Hoden says, Raw really sucks. Dozer1 says the Rougeau brothers should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree with you. So we'll close it at that. There's going to be probably more news coming later today. I just wanted to pass along that news of Cain being released. I am a fan of Cain as a UFC fighter. He didn't quite have the look of a WWE wrestler, even though he's definitely a talented fighter. He really looked out of place just because, even though he is, of course, fit, he didn't have the look of a big jacked guy. He looked a little soft. I thought they would have done more with him, but I guess he was probably a big contract that they wanted to drop. Bobby Lincoln says WWE should shut down. Yeah, Jim Herd interview. Jamie Bulls says, I would like that. Someone track down Jim Herd for me. Oh, last thing. Jesse Ventura's agent was watching my news last night where I was looking for Jesse's contact, and I'm going to really try to get a Jesse Ventura interview very soon. So we'll close it at that. Have a great night. I'll check in.